it was just too much for me. I can't. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's A1 So Bossy. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we're gonna get right into this video. So I know a lot of my subscribers are probably wondering what have I been doing. I've been getting a lot of comments about my other Amazon videos and my braces videos and stuff like that. But I don't know if you've watched the last video, you'll see that I was working flex shift. So I went from a full-time employee to a flex shift worker. A lot of people wanted to know my experience and how I felt about working that shift. So I thought I'd come back with another video and let you guys know how I liked it, the experiences, how did I get the job doing that, and etc. So how did I apply? I was already working at Amazon. For those of you guys who's already subscribed to my videos, I was already working for Amazon, so it wasn't hard. At the time I was getting bored with Amazon. It was just a lot at the moment, schedules and stuff like that. So I figured I'd see if I could work a different schedule. So I didn't see a different schedule, and I also wanted to see if I could work in a different department, and I didn't really see much of that. Like, I saw ShipDoc, but I didn't want to work in ShipDoc, so I saw flex. So I transferred over to doing flex shifts. With flex shifts, I had to work 4 hours a week, at least 4 hours a week, or I would get a point, and the threshold was 8. And I found it very easy to get points when I went to flex shifts. So because when I was working as a full-time employee, it wasn't that hard. Like, I would say the only thing I had a problem with is like maybe coming on time in the morning, but other than that, I didn't really have bad attendance. They have it to where you could work 4 hours a week, and I believe there's another one where it's like 30 hours a week at least. When I first started, they had me trained for 2 days. It was already a department that I worked in, so it wasn't hard. I just came in like I was working my normal shift. I think it was like a 7:30 to 6, which I was already working before. So I did 2 days working, packing, 7:30 to 6, and then that's when I was qualified, or I was able to get into starting to work my flex shifts. The main thing that I hate about flex shifts was picking my shifts. So every Friday at 6 p.m. the shifts would pop up, and it would be fast. Like, it was so hard for me to grab it. Like, even though I knew weekly that I would have to be on top of the app, I always missed it. And even when I caught it, like, there was one time where it posted at like 6, and then I clicked it at like 6:03, and it went from like 140 shifts to like 83. And most people want to work morning shifts. They don't want to work overnight. So I was catching myself getting shifts like 3:30 to 6, or like 6:30 to 10, I believe. Like, at one point I worked an overnight shift, and I did not like it. Like, I'm not I'm up at nighttime. Like, I don't really sleep through the night, but as far as working overnight, that was not for me. Like, even at one point there weren't much shifts for me to pick up, so I picked up like I believe it was a 2:30 to 6 a.m. and I set an alarm and everything. I didn't even wake up, so I missed the whole shift. Thank God I had PTO, so I used my PTO to cover the shift. But from that moment, I knew that if I couldn't just be home all day or doing something all day, and then the time that I would have to go into work would be 2:30 to 6 a.m. And the time that I did work overnight, like, I found myself falling asleep when it was time for me to drive and go home. So I know for a fact that overnight was not for me. Like, I also like structure. Like, it was really hard for me to build a schedule, because as soon as the shifts will pop up at 6, you have to click the shift, add shift, and then you have to accept the shift. And one time I tried to get 7:30 to 11, and I clicked it, but by the time it actually loaded to it was available, I ended up having a 6:30 to 10 shift. Like, it was just too much for me. I can't. Now, I will say, like, as far as flexibility, it's the perfect job if you need something part-time and like probably 20 hours a week. Like, I had got another job, so the money part wasn't really a big deal for me, but like, what if I was trying to get 40 hours or at least 30 hours a week? It's hard to, you're like competing with all these other people who are picking up these shifts. So, but for sure, if you want a job to where you can, because sometimes people have like weird hours with their full-time job. So I feel like if you're gonna work flex with Amazon, at least you know for a fact you'll be able to get your hours, because sometimes it's hard to find a part-time job around the hours with your full-time job. So that's definitely a big plus with the Amazon flex shifts. And I do have a lot of people in my other video that asked me or actually DM me on my Instagram, like asked me if it's the same as like flex with driving. No, it was inside the warehouse. I wasn't delivering any packages or anything like that. It was just flexible shift inside the warehouse. It's like a lot of weekend availability. So like, if you want to work like overnight or early in the morning or late nights, most people don't want to work those hours. Like, a lot of people want to work the 7:30 to 11 and the 11:30 to 3 and then 3:30 to 6. Like, those are the main hours people want to work, but a lot of people just don't want to work those full-time hours. It's like a lot of people were mothers, entrepreneurs, business owners, like they just had other obligations, and Amazon was just a good way for them to eat. Also, some people just needed to work somewhere for health insurance. So there's different pluses when it comes to the flex shift. It just really depends on everyone's situation. Of course, everyone's situation is going to be different. Now, I also seen someone asking like, what if they're going on vacation? So with that, yes, you still have to work your allotted hours for the week. So if you're working the flex shift where you have to work at least 4, or you're working the flex shift where you have to work at least 30, you have to find a way around that. Now, that's the bad part about the flex shift. So you would have to add a shift for, it would be easier if you're doing the flex shift where you have to work at least 4. So you'd have to add a shift that's 4 hours, and you'll have to put in the PTO, or you could get a point. So it really depends. Like, if you're on the verge of termination, you would want to use the PTO trick, but other than that, you'll get a point. Even that's what I hated. Like, it's a 4-hour shift, but if you are late over the 6 minutes, they're gonna give you a point. And if you don't have the PTO, like, imagine losing your job and you make your own schedule. Like, it's crazy. For the most part, Amazon Flex, it wasn't for me at all. Like, I didn't like it, mainly because it was hard to grab the shifts. Like, I felt like I was battling to pick up shifts all the time. Like, when I was able to get a shift, it was satisfying, but weekly, that's just too much. I would like it if it was like every 2 weeks they had you picking your schedules, but the fact that I would literally click on the time on the app and I would try to get it and it would say it's unavailable, and I believe I screen recorded a video, and I'm going to include it in this video, like in the middle when I first started saying what I didn't like about picking up shifts. I'm going to include that so that you guys could see literally like how fast the shifts were gone. So like, with battling with picking up shifts, I would try to work like at least 20 hours a week. So what I would do is try to pick up 2 shifts. Like, even if it wasn't shifts that I wanted to, I just did the math. There's 7 days in a week, and I want to work at least 20 hours. So I would at least try to get a 3-hour shift for one day out of each day of the work week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The thing about it is, some days are harder to get and some days are easier to get. So say, for example, Sunday, Mondays were days where people didn't want to work. So you may get a shift on those days, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Friday, like, you wouldn't be able to get no shifts. So now you'll have to try to get 10 hours in those 2 days. Like, it really was like a waiting game, and like, being too strategic. And me personally, I'd rather someone tell me you have to work this day, this day, this day, and then just go to work. So flex definitely was not for me. And that concludes my video. So if you guys have any other questions on Amazon, just include it in my comments. I can't think of anything else. You guys stay tuned for more content because I will be creating more videos. I know a lot of people wanted an update on my braces. They're doing well. My top row is closed almost all the way to the bottom. They moved it. They shifted it open first and now they're closing it. So I have one little gap here, but I got power chains on the bottom. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my videos. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.